In this video, we're going to go over how to calculate the weighted mean. The weighted mean is really similar to the mean, except that there are certain values that count more than other values. In other words, they have more weight or more importance. Now, calculating this in Excel is not too bad, but what we are going to do here is actually start setting up a reusable Excel sheet so that you can plug in numbers to this sheet and it will spit out the answers for you. So what I want you to do right now is open up a blank Excel sheet on office.com, make sure you're signed in so you can save it, and then come back to this video and go through this with me so that you have this blank Excel sheet that you can reuse in the future. So hopefully you've done that, and now we're going to go through this problem where we are going to be calculating the weighted mean of the ratings for a camera that someone is considering buying. So here we can see there are different categories that they are using to rate the camera. They have ratings for each of those categories, and they have the weight. In other words, how important are the different categories? So in this case, image quality is the most important to this person. So to set up our reusable sheet and to answer this problem, we're going to start by putting some headers up here. So specifically, we're going to put value. This is the thing we are finding the weighted mean for. And we're going to put weight as our other header. So these are the two sets of numbers we're going to have to put in every time. So in this case, the values are the ratings, which are 8, 6, and 9. And the weights are 5, 2, and 3. Now to calculate the weighted mean, we have to go ahead first and do each value times its weight. So I'm going to name this column here value times weight. And I should expand that out a little bit so it fits better. And Excel can do this calculation for us by doing equals, right, to start a calculation, clicking on the 8 times the 5, hitting enter, and then going to the bottom right corner of that cell after single clicking on it and dragging it down. Now I'm actually going to drag this down a few more places. I'm going to put in like 6 or 7. That way, in case there are more categories in the future, we can still use this same sheet. Now, for finding the actual weighted mean, we still have to do a couple of things. First, we need to find the total of the weight and the total of this value times weight columns. So we can do that by doing sum, so equals sum, open parentheses, and then highlighting this column. It's okay that some of them are blank. And then because we're doing the same exact thing in the next column over, we can just drag that over, right? Go to the bottom right corner and drag it over, and that will add up all of these numbers. Now to get our actual answer, to get our weighted mean, we're just going to go ahead and we have to do the value times weight total divided by the weight total and enter. So in this case, the weighted mean rating for this camera is a 7.9. Now the last thing I want to do before we leave this problem is I'm going to highlight just some of these cells. Specifically, I'm going to highlight the value and weight columns because those are the only numbers that you have to type in if you want to reuse this spreadsheet. So let's say someone else looked at this camera and they said, hey, I think that battery life is actually really important to me. I think battery life is like a 6 on the weight scale. So now the Excel sheet will automatically recalculate everything for us. Or maybe somebody else looked at a different camera and they said, hey, this camera does not have good zoom, so its zoom actually only scored a 5. Well, now the weighted mean goes down a lot. We can see everything recalculates automatically.